Here we are going to start. We're going to try to finish Siman Rishon and Beis today in the Mishnah Berurah. We're on Siv Vav. Shulchan Aruch says, Lo yitzi adam erev Shabbos samach l'chashecha b'machtoi b'yadoi v'lo b'kul masoi shem yishkach v'yoytzi. Person's not allowed to go out on Friday near the time of dark with a needle in his hand and not with a quill, because he might forget and then go out. Meaning, you might inadvertently carry this. It's permissible to go out with tefillin near the time of dark because you won't forget. Mishnah Berurah says, doesn't just have to do with the needle, this applies with any item. Any other item that you're holding in your hand, you can't go out with it near the time of dark because you might forget and go out. And there's not going to be a place where there's no Erev, and that will be a problem. Biyado, in your hand. Can't hold it in your hand. Same halach applies if you have other items that are in your wallet. That would be considered the way of carrying, and you would be liable on Shabbos. That would be a problem. And they prohibited you going out from your house near the time of dark with this Shema Yishkach v'yoytzi mishetechshach, lest you come to forget and actually do it when it's dark. It's permissible to go out into a public area near the time of dark with a needle that is inserted in your clothing. It's like tucked in, it's in a pocket in your clothing. In a way that it is not the norm to do this during the week, and something similar to this. In a way that if you would go out on Shabbos like this, you'd be exempt from a Torah level. As it's explained later on in Siman Shin Aleph. Even so, rabbinically it's prohibited. But they didn't decree a decree for a decree. Fiza accordingly. Nowadays, when there is no public domain.
Well, no, the only thing we're going in order.
Leika Rishos Harabim Ella Karmelis.
If the Rav makes an interesting title, the Rav makes an interesting title, then people are.
Nowadays, the Leika Rishos Harabim Ella Karmelis, that we don't have a public domain, we have a Karmelis, which is a rabbinic prohibition of carrying in such an area. Shari Lotzis Bechefet should be other some is permissible to go out with a object in your hand near the time of dark, golden shkia before sunset. It's a decree to decree a meal. That's However, according to many poskim, including the Shulchan Aruch, nowadays we also have a public domain, as it's discussed over there. According to what the Gra said in his biur, in his commentary, also some of the shkia, it will be prohibited near the time of shkia, even in the karmelis. Meaning you might forget and take out the item for when it's dark to a public domain, or you're going to carry it a distance of 4 amos in a public area. But tefillin's okay to go out with. This is talking about tefillin on your head. That is okay to go out with. We're not going to decree that maybe you might forget to remove them. And then it'll already be dark. And then you're going to need to remove them from upon yourself and carry them 4 amos in a public domain, as is discussed over there. Because we are assuming that he's not going to forget them on his head. Because it is a mitzvah to move them around, and it's prohibited to divert your mind from them. But if you're going to hold it in your hand, it's prohibited to go out with them near the time of dark, just like other objects. So the difference if you're holding them or if you're wearing them. Because you're going to divert your mind from them and forget about them and take them out from one domain to another, or you're going to carry them for a distance of 4 amos, around 8 feet.
The shoyad is a pashut that it's okay to wear.
And he's only discussing the Rosh over here.
Right.
So that is an interesting, what would be the distinction over there? That requires more research. There's a couple bear halachas over here. I mean, nothing's monumental. Sisif Zayin. Mitzvah lamashmish adam bekele be'arasham sopel shashik shal yebehem davar she'asol aseis b'Shabbos. It's a mitzvah to check your pockets for dark near the time for Shabbos, so that there's not going to be something that you're not allowed to carry on Shabbos. Erev problem. Right, in your clothing, any place that you typically use. For example, in pockets that are sewn in, even in your belt, in a place where they have the custom place things in the belt, fanny pack. The Shema yesh b'hem eze davar yoytzienu l'reshus Rav Mo Shema yesh davar muksav yitel tena b'Shabbos. Because maybe there's going to be something and you're going to carry it in a public domain, or maybe there's something that is muksa and you are going to carry it on Shabbos. Nira dehuadim b'Shabbos imuroyte losis chutz le'erevu rogel losis b'kisu davar mutal talter sharach l'mashmer shechila. It appears that the same applies on Shabbos itself. If you want to go out to the Erev, if you want to go outside of the Erev and you regularly carry such items in your pocket, it's permissible to carry. You need to remove them first. So you have 2 problems over here. Number 1, carrying an area where there's no Erev. Number 2, it's a problem of muksa.
Right, that's what you.
The Sharat Sion, there's a few answers to this question over here. It says, don't say Sikha Derabanan Lakuli. You could be lenient about this because it's Davar Matsui V'Raguhu Lotzeis Bekiso Kol Yemei Achol Malz Sharat Dvarim. It's something that you regularly do during the week. And furthermore, you could easily figure out if you're carrying something or not, and to take care of that.
It's another reason why you not to wear your big day Shabbos to a wedding.
Yep.
I've had that problem.
That's right. That is right. Those are the mission, bros. Let's go through the Piskei Teshuvos. Hopefully, we're going to have time for the Dirshins. This is actually discussing what you just mentioned. The Magen Avraham in Siman Shin Yod Sifkat and Zayin says that during the rest of the week, preferably you shouldn't place items in your pockets of your Shabbos clothing because you might forget to remove them. Very valid point. So based on this, you should certainly be careful not to place on Shabbos, on your Shabbos clothing, items that you might come to carry them outside of your house. You might not realize. If there's no Erev.
Handkerchief or something?
Yeah, if there's no Erev, tissues.
That's the problem with all of us in an Erev, but we go to a place that there's no Erev.
That's right. You have to be very careful about it. Some say you don't need to be stringent about that. Since you know that you placed it over there for a small amount of time, we're not going to be concerned that you're going to forget. Clothing that you only wear in your house, you obviously don't need to worry about, or if you're in a location where there's an Erev, you don't need to worry about this. It's talking about the clothing that you regularly wear outside, and additionally, there's no Erev. And if you're in a place with no Erev, yes, in Echanami, you should check your pockets before you go out.
What was that last one? You should check your pockets if you're in an Erev?
No, in a place, if you're going to be going outside of the Erev, if you're going to go outside of the Erev.
Across the bridge here, you're not out of the Chum, but you're out of the Erev.
Okay, so then that's going to be a problem. If you're crossing the Atlantic Beach Bridge, then that's going to be a problem. The last Piskei Teshuvos. It's talking about something, an item that's muktzah. Says over here, therefore, in a place where there is an Eruv Kedin, a kosher Eruv, similarly on Erev Yontif, there's no prohibition of carrying in a public domain, this halacha would apply. Because of the reason of muktzah. You have to check your pockets because of muktzah items. Even if you don't have the Erev reason, you still need to check your pockets. The Gemara calls this Hilchos Rabsai L'Shabsa. This is a great halacha of Shabbos, of Hilchos Shabbos. This is something that prevents us from violating a prohibition, and it's obligatory. It's not just a mitzvah, the Rambam says. This is a chiyuv. This is a full-fledged obligation. Let's say you have a garment that you're not wearing right now, but in the future you're going to wear it on Shabbos and Yontif. You should just check it now. You know, however you leave something, that's how you're going to find it later. It's an important concept in life. So leave your clothing in a way that when you get it the next time, it'll be ready to roll. Halachically. So if you didn't check it, you check it when you're going to wear it. If you do find something muktzah in your clothing on Shabbos, shake it out.
No, what does that like
No,
practically?
sometimes shake it out. Don't directly take it out of your pocket. Try
So
to
you like sort of like flip your jacket.
Exactly.
Just not
Exactly.
physically take it out, but
Exactly. Now, in certain cases, it could be that the whole garment you have to take off and it's prohibited to wear.
you can't take it out.
Again, we're gonna have to see exactly in Hilchos Shabbos what this exact case is. But if the beged itself is a wall for the wallet, and you put it there intentionally, okay, we're gonna have to see when we get later on in these Simanim. He says as it's explained in Siman Shin Yud. So when we learn that, we'll have to tie it back in. This is only talking about Me'ikar Hadin, this halacha. Do you need to check your pockets on clothing that you're wearing on Shabbos and during the week? Or, yeah, you wore it during the week. Me'ikar Hadin, though, excuse me, B'fnei Mishuras Hadin, above and beyond the letter of the law, it's correct to be stringent and check anything and everything that you wear. Even if you didn't wear it during the week. Ever. Because maybe there was something else placed there. It's so funny learning about these halachas. It's past Erev Shabbos. My kids thought that it was funny. They put some small magnets for the refrigerator in my pocket. And they were flat, so I didn't realize. So they go, Tati, check your pockets. I'm checking my pockets, nothing there. They go, your back pockets. Checking my back pockets of my suit. Each pocket has this flat magnet in it. I would have.
It was Shabbos.
Yeah, right before Shabbos. Sitting and learning in this farm room in my house.
There's an Erev in Wood though.
No,
but it's never
but it's a
muktzah.
muktzah. It's muktzah. So it's a magnet that's designated for the refrigerator. Magnets are a problem because it's kosher. It's like tying or
So what'd you tell them?
or other problems. So
That's so funny.
I took it out. I took it out, but that's what you gotta check. I always try when I say this during Bama, like right Bama Likin before Baruch Hu, I try to check my pockets, make sure it's all good under the hood. That's what we're learning about. So it's Nimishur said in, but you know, why not? It's not that much effort, really isn't.
It's another thing to remember.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's it.
Yeah, that's good. That's why we're here. Yeah. That's why we're here. You know, you could always, yeah, fine. For example, he says, let's say you're wearing your clothing during Chol Hamoed or at a Simcha,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, that's Cholomov.
Now the discipler himself wouldn't check his clothing because he never wore it during the week. The only time he would do it was Erev Shabbos on Chol Hamoed. Interesting. Anyways, so these are some of the halachas pertaining to the simon over here. Any questions or comments on this?
Pie clip.
Yeah.
Used to have those things, some people have, they're rare.
Some people use it for the talus also.
Yeah, the talus.
The talus also, yeah. What about them? Those
So
are
would
fine.
that be something that would be fine to walk out with an error, without an error?
If it's on you, yeah, I think so. I think.
What about the other things
So they did
wear in
this,
the talus?
That's the whole point of it. That's the whole point
yeah,
of
that's
it.
one of it. Yeah.
I would think.
Huh?
That's the point of it.
They'll sometimes have like you make a key on a tie clip.
Yeah, that I've seen also they make a key
Yeah.
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then like it's definitely like it's a function and it can be used to carry.
Let's discuss a few notes from the
Everything for
Derek
not being
Beck.
okay would be that people don't usually do it. It's like not a common thing now.
Yeah, something because you don't see many tie clips nowadays. And now with arrows,
Yeah.
I guess in Brooklyn, I wonder if they still wear, have the tie
I used
clips.
to for that reason.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes. Yeah. Because it had like you had key.
you grew up in Brooklyn, or you?
Let's say you have something that is
I
like
don't notice many tie clips.
filth on your clothing. You have a noticeable remnants of food on your clothing. And you're in an area where there's no Erev. So obviously we're not learning Hilchos Erevin right now, but the Dershu quotes is in footnote 33, so we'll just speak out what they quote. So is that going to be a problem? So Rosh Shlomo Zalman Auerbach is quoted in the Shmir Shabbos Kilchas Perek Yud Ches footnote Kuf Bey, who says you don't need to clean it before you go to an Erev, to an area where there's no Erev. Says you don't need to clean it.
Who's that again?
Shlomo Zalman.
Shlomo Zalman, okay.
However, this can happen. If you have pebbles or significant dirt that's in your shoe, you need to remove it.
Now,
Think about that. Next time you have a pebble in your shoe in an area where there's no Erev, the question is how do you remove your shoe?
doesn't it how big the
Because there's
pebble
no Erev. What?
Does it matter how big the pebble is?
If it's, not like a little thing. It's something, whatever. So the answer is you just try to flick it out. That's it.
Right. I heard
Untie your shoe and then you move it.
Hey, Pfeiffer quoted a question of like, let's say you're in a place with no earth and you have a yarmulke with a black hat over it, like it's not necessary. So spoke out like whatever.
What do you mean a yarmulke with the black hat?
You're with that neighbor and you have a yarmulke and there's a black hat over it. You don't need your yarmulke. You have your head covered.
Oh, yeah, but that's how people. That's how.
Is it normal thing?
That's how we walk.
Dress.
That's how we dress, though. It's
That's my question. That makes it different how you dress then. So
yeah.
yeah.
People who are dressed like that, that's how they dress. It's fine. It's part of it's lavush.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like in the winter if you're wearing multiple layers. That's how you dress. It's fine. It's not considered extra clothing. Maybe you could say in the summer if you're sweating your brains out and you have 6 layers on, that's excessive. And but even so, that might even be permissible. We'll look into it.
Another
It's lavush.
Another anti-black hat question is what the length of the brim. They go at that.
Yeah,
it's all addressed, but
nowadays I've noticed the style is getting smaller.
It's getting smaller with style.
I'm out of style because my hats are over 10 years old. It's okay. When I got my hats, I never paid more than $250 for a Borsalina. Now they're like 500. It's crazy.
Okay, I'm out of style too.
It's crazy what the price is.
My wife's not going to divorce me, so I'm okay.
Okay.
Try to match from time to time.
Yeah, Hashem still appreciates even if we have a longer one. It's okay. Yeah, Hashem won't divorce us either. Okay, so that is the story with the pebbles. Let's say See this sometimes. I mean, this is the truth of the matter. Is a whole shaila and hilchos brachos. If a person has food in their mouth, so let's say they had in mind they're gonna have the halachic status as oivri drachim of someone who's a traveler, and so now they're traveling. So they say a bracha with the intention that they're going to be traveling. So they have a sucking candy in their mouth in an area where there's no eruv.
That's different than wearing the hat.
That's different than wearing a hat. A hat is clothing that's the norm of you to wear.
It's the norm to wear sucking candy.
Wear?
Just suck gum.
You wear sucking candies?
Yeah.
So take off your clothing and put sucking candies, attach them to your body and wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good comeback. You don't wear sucking candies, you eat sucking candies.
It's the same thing. It's in your mouth.
It's the same thing. One is food, the other is clothing.
It has like a same thing. That is the function.
Okay. So are you allowed to do that while eating? There's a halacha in Eruvin, which is clothing you're allowed to wear. Who said that food you could? If you're holding the food, you would agree that that's going to be a problem, correct? So just because it's in your mouth, and that's okay.
Let's say you're holding your mouth. Let's say you have like a sandwich and you put it in your mouth and you walk around like that. Maybe that's okay. But if you're holding your hand, obviously not.
Right. So.
But you're saying, but again, if you have the sandwich in your mouth, it's probably okay, right? Like you have.
Well, that's what we're going to figure out in a moment. It's happened multiple times. People steal items, diamonds. They get caught, so they swallow it. I say I'll swallow it. It will come out of my body, and I will
rummage through it.
I will go through the feces, and I'll get it, and I won't get caught. They can't catch me.
The pot, and like the out,
Yeah, all these things, and I won't get caught. Certain women also, they put things inside of them. They try to hide it. It's well known.
Mm-hmm.
So
would a metal detector pick it up or no?
A metal detector, do they pick up diamonds?
What?
Probably
diamonds?
Not the metal. I mean, they could, when they look at the thing, they could see what's inside of you. They'll realize something.
X-ray? No.
They won't see diamond? No? So they try to hide it.
It's a great way to hide it.
So, I mean, they usually end up finding it nowadays. They have devices. Yeah, they usually do. So would that be a problem with Eruv?
Definitely not.
Swallowing that. I mean, there's a whole story. Oh yeah, we're about to quote it on Yeshua of a fellow who was putting on talis tefillin, but he was getting caught. He was doing all sorts of things that were bad. He's like, what's the point of putting on talis tefillin if I'm just doing all these things that are bad?
Yeah.
So what is the answer to the shaila? Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, same source as above, footnote Ches is permissible. Unless the food is annoying you. For example, sometimes when a person eats meat, so after the meat gets stuck in the teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a whole shiloh of flossing on Shabbos. We're going to learn about it, Mitzvah Hashem. I always like saying, I never understood the shiloh. It's a problem to floss because you're going to bleed. Is that really so?
Same thing with brushing the teeth.
Yeah, brushing teeth, fine. We could discuss each one, fine. Is that really a problem? No, because with the floss, if you don't touch your gums, you can't bleed. There's no blood on your tooth.
You're using a toothpick.
Yeah, there's no blood on your tooth. You just floss. Be very careful not to go all the way. And then in logic, it should be okay. The question is, are we going to decree and say, lest you might come to go too far up or too far down, and then you're going to hit your gums?
I mean, well, most people will go too far up or down.
Okay, so I'm saying if a person is incredibly careful, they're in front of a mirror.
Well, no one's. I mean, in the clutch, you know what I'm saying? When it's clutch, you get nervous.
Okay, so if a person is in front of a mirror in a bathroom, and they're careful not to go too far up and down, in theory, why would it be a problem? You're already a machmir, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
You're stringent. Now you're stringent. Other times when I'm stringent, you're lenient. I see what's happening. But in theory, we're gonna have to learn about that also. It's obviously a lot to learn about. So comes along when Shlomo Zalman Aruch says, if the food is disturbing you, or you don't want it because it doesn't look good, you have this huge piece of meat right here. You know, it always happens. So so he says Sarachin, that could very well be considered carrying, and that could be an issue. Because you don't want the food there. So the difference of do you want the food there or not?
Is there any minimal size for something that's carryable?
Is there a minimum size that would be a problem? I would assume, based on what we just learned, the
Pebble?
amount of
Is
Hilchos
there
Eruvin knowledge that we have.
size?
Yeah, there is,
Size?
but what did we just learn? We just learned that the pebble could be a problem.
Yeah, but again, how big does the pebble have to be?
Yes, it's discussed in the Gemara and Shabbos, but if there's already if a pebble's big enough, you say, "Oh my gosh, I've got
the zipper. The zipper doesn't open, does it?
I've got to untie my shoe, get this pebble out of here because it's really annoying me on the walk." So that is the function of a pebble, and that could very well be a problem. If the food is big enough in your mouth that someone who you're talking with, you're like, just so you know, you have something in your mouth. That is the size of that item in your mouth. That could be a problem. That's what it seems like. From what we're learning. From what we're learning. That's right. So I think that's the shear for this, maybe. However, Carmelis, which is most of our domains nowadays, you could be lenient because it's rabbinic in nature. It's midrabanan, and you could there's a svar that it's bottled to the guf. The food in your mouth is null and void to your body. Therefore, it would be permissible. That's the Carmelis. That's nowadays. Rav Nitzan Karelitz also says food that is in between your teeth doesn't have chashivas. Zero importance on that. Even if you're sucking it on your way, it's permissible to go out with. However, if there's a bone in between your teeth, or enough meat that it's like, I want that out of there, that's already considered like a masui.
It's noticeable?
That's a burden and it would be a problem. If it's not just noticeable, but you want it out of there, that would be a problem. However, the child's shoe is minchas yitzchok, and the Vos Dalit says it's correct to be careful if possible. Because since it's the norm to remove food between your teeth, this type of carrying is not considered hoitzah kila'achar yad, carrying something in the abnormal way, and it could be a problem. So it very well could in fact be a problem. Sorry to burst anyone's bubble.
It's a machlokas at the end of the day.
It is a machlokes, and it depends on certain specifics, but this is the story over here. So this is the siman. Now the question is, we have to figure out which siman to do next. We're definitely not going to do the next siman. Siman Reish and base. Reish and Gimel. Definitely not going to do that because we already did that should be paired with Shin Yud Ches. So we're not going to do that one. Reish and Aleph we already did. And I think a lot of the other ones in the other Reish Nuna area also have to do a lot with Hatmana, Bishul. It's really more malachas of Shabbos, which should really be learned all in one time, which is also a very long and complicated area of learning. With Shin Yud Ches, like later on. So we already did. So we're gonna see exactly what we're gonna do. I think we should try to cover everything before Siman Shin. So we'll see on that. Maybe we'll just try to kind of go in order in Shin. And that's basically what we'll do. Yeah.
I'm saying we were just touching on Shinala.
Yeah, based on what we just learned. Yeah, it foreshadows a little. It kind of ties in. So that's probably what we're gonna do next. I think the real long siman is Reish Samach Gimel. The halachos of Ner Shabbos, but that's long. Very applicable. We're gonna have to work a little on that. Maybe also we should just take this time to learn a little bit about the upcoming Yom Tovim also before starting something very, very long like that. So we'll see. I'm gonna make a calculation and think about it.
Okay.
I think either way it's gonna be good material. So okay.
But so what are the choices? What are the choices?
There's no choices. We're gonna either go weiter in Hilchos Shabbos before Siman Shin,
Yeah.
or we are gonna start maybe learn a little bit about Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot. I mean, it's a little too early, Yom Kippur,
Wow.
but it would be nice if we could learn a little bit about each of the Yom Tovim. If we could just have something to discuss. So yeah, I mean, look, we have Rosh Chodesh, the Shabbos, as we know, so we have the whole Av and the whole Elul, so we essentially have 2 months for that. So we'll make a calculation. I have to think about it. I didn't prepare anything or look into anything. So this simon was look, there was definitely applicable halachas that we came out with. Maybe tomorrow we'll do a review on it. It's not gonna be such a long review, honestly. But maybe that's what we'll do, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Okay.
All right, everyone have a wonderful day.
Have a great day. Have a good day.